when Hillary Clinton, I don't know if she called Trump voters or whoever it was deplorables. I don't even know what the real story is, actually. She mentioned that some of these people are deplorables. Of course they are. I mean, frankly, I think she's deplorable too, but nevertheless, let's just look at this, you know, sort of like just as at arm's length. Donald Trump referred to Democratic voters as vermin, which is, you know, I'm not sensitive to these things. But are we to believe that if Donald Trump had said deplorable instead of vermin, that there would have been the massive amount of news coverage that the same comment that Hillary Clinton did? Put up a couple, like scroll down here and look at these, like they've done an assessment. Here, TV news broadcast coverage of Clinton deplorables and Trump's vermin comments. It's crazy. And it's not just, I mean, this is just broadcast news. We're not even talking about like sort of partisan news. Cable news coverage. Also ridiculous. Again, there's all sorts of partisan amplification on this. Scroll down. Print news, same deal. You can't even see the blue.
Yeah, right. It's not even there.
You can't even see it.
Just watch for the WAPO.
The Times and Washington Post and the Journal went in on the deplorable comments. I mean, I don't, you know, this is, I only bring this up, not because I'm whining about it, but this is just the reality. When you make an assessment of what Democrats can or cannot do and what Republicans can or cannot do politically, you have to be aware of how the media covers them. And this has been, I mean, this has been true for at least 25, 30 years. Whether there was a Fox News or not a Fox News. It got really bad in the wake of 9/11. And it got really bad like when Drudge was a gateway from Fox and from the right-wing media, which was nascent at that time. Drudge became a gateway to the ABC producers, essentially, and then it just got laundered in. It's a different media ecosystem now. But you should just be aware that this dynamic exists. And so you have people who are saying, like, the reason why Joe Biden's favorability rating is so low is because the media is covering the economy wrong. And there's definitely some truth to that. The media is always, but this is constant. This is consistent throughout. The real problem I think that Biden has in terms of like favorability, aside from like the fact that he has been completely enabling the wholesale like ethnic cleansing, genocide of I would say wholesale ethnic cleansing, partial genocide of Palestinians in Gaza, is just because he's perceived as old. And Donald Trump may be as old or close to it, but he's not perceived as such because he just looks, I don't know, fatter, more mobile, and that was never part of his appeal anyways. When the right wing looks at him, they see him like with one of those like muscle bodies that they put on in like the cartoons, because they're deluding themselves. But and I don't know that I don't know that Joe Biden can't do his job at this point. He probably can. But part of that old narrative is not helped by what's going on in the way that he's reacting to Israel. Because the politics in that disposition is also old. It is anachronistic. So it's not just a physical thing. It's not just him acting like a grandpa. It's that his understanding of the context of these things is antiquated in many ways. And Donald Trump does not have that same problem. Donald Trump's politics come from whatever Mark Levin said yesterday on his talk radio show. And so he's just more current. And I think that thing people don't understand.